Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and I'll be talking about the most damaging power sword build in Space Marine 2 Patch 13 to dominate hard strats and operations. Now, the main idea behind this build is maxing our damage, so we are taking a block power sword, and also all the power swords in Patch 13 got a speed buff, so this one actually hits a bit faster now, and I already prefer the block power sword on Bulwark anyways, because the 0 frame parry startup on defense type block does let you take full advantage of stuff like Intimidating Aura, so a really good synergy on this class especially. Now, for the perk tree on this, I do start off with the perk here, Armored Strength first. If you have armor remaining, melee damage increases by 10%. On the Bulwark class, we do take Focus Restoration very often for armor regen, so keeping that 10% buff up 24/7 is very easy for us, and the next perk here also gives us even more damage with Master of Offense. After switching your sword combat style, you'll deal 20% more melee damage for 5 seconds. The cooldown is 10 seconds. A 20% melee buff here is really nice. You can definitely use this into a power rake for at least one attack, which is pretty strong for us. We definitely pick this one up here. Next perk here, Perpetual Strength, down here into the perk Perpetual Strength again. Then I pick up the perk Tranquility, Melee Onslaught for a 10% damage buff. Moving here to the perk Hard Target, and of course the perk Cutting Edge. Power Rake deals 50% more melee damage. Now, Power Rake is the overall strongest attack on this weapon, and for that reason, a 50% buff here is super nice to have, so definitely grab this. And next perk here is Extremis Slayer up here into the perk Majora's Slayer, and of course Terminus Slayer for like a catch-all on damage buffs against the most obnoxious enemies in the game. Now, here we do skip over Minora's Slayer because you really don't need this perk at all in a power sword because your Minora's clearing is already very strong, especially on this weapon, and for that reason we just take Power Restoration instead for a 100% increase to our contested health recovery on power style attacks, and that's pretty much all there is for the power sword here. Now, for our secondary, I do take the newly buffed Firepower Plasma Pistol. Now, all of the plasma pistols in patch 13 got a base damage buff to their common shot damage by like 30%, which really helped out for not only your overall damage, but also your overall contested health recovery, because you now no longer have to charge up your shots on these guns to get back a significant portion of your contested health, which is super strong for us, which is why we take the firepower variant today, because the damage here is just obviously higher, on top of the fact this has the highest gun strike damage of the relic tier options. Now, for the perk tree here, I do start off with the perk Plasma Collection first, moving here to the perk Rapid Cooling, and then we pick up Plasma Collection again into the perk here Blast Radius for more charge shot radius on our charge shots, obviously. Moving here to the perk Perpetual Velocity, down here into Plasma Collection, Blast Radius, Retaliation for a 25% more damage buff for 10 seconds after your perfect time dodge, and the final perk here is Divine Might for that 10% damage buff, though alternatively, you could skip over this bottom row for like the Divine Might perk here and go into Efficient Charge and the perk here Perfect Cooling, but it is up to you, and that's all there is for the Plasma Pistol. Now, for our perk choices here, I do take the perk here, Intimidating Aura. Now, for the Bulwark perk tree, I do take the perk Intimidating Aura first. A perfect time parry deals AoE damage in a 5-meter radius. The cooldown is 5 seconds. Now, contrary to popular belief, this perk does actually function with the block defense type. I know a lot of people think this only works with like perfect parry because of the description, but back in patch 8, they did fix this to properly work with blocks, so just keep that in mind. Next perk here is Shock and Awe. Enemies in the shock area take 25% more damage. Now, the main reason I take this perk is for the perk over here, Emergency Countermeasure. When your armor is fully depleted, a reserve shock grenade automatically detonates at your position. The cooldown is 45 seconds. So when you have this out, you will be maxing out your damage here for a 25% buff. I will say, if you want to take defensive advantage here instead of Seal Within, you can go even further, but this perk kind of sucks, and I think that Seal Within is just way better for that damage reduction, so for that reason I still take this perk next. But if you want like a full maximum damage here or max damage potential, you can definitely take this. Next perk here is Focus Restoration. Every 30 seconds all team members automatically restore 1 armor segment. This perk just drip feeds armor to your entire team. Super undervalued perk when it initially came out. You know, they buffed this way back when, like a year ago, from like 40 to 30 seconds, and ever since it has been the best in slot team perk on this class because armor is very powerful in Space Marine 2, so a perk like this, it gives you armor to your entire team, is going to be naturally pretty strong. Next perk here is Purity of Purpose. The banner deals damage over time to enemies in this area of effect. This perk is a top tier option. It will wipe out Minoras. It will deal significant damage to Majoris, Extremis, and even bosses. And really, it's just another shock grenade. Now, some people do ask me, like, does this perk activate the shock and awe effect? That is a big no, but it's still a very strong option, so definitely pick it up. Next perk here is Concussive Force. Shield Bash deals 200% more damage, Shield Rush deals 100% more damage, and the Thunder Hammer Pommel Smash deals 100% more damage and deals AoE damage in a 7-meter radius. Cooldown is 5 seconds. Now, we are just taking this for the Shield Bash damage because really on any block weapon build in the entire game, Concussive Force is like the highest damage potential because these are very strong perks, but the damage here is kind of insane. The big problem I have with this one usually is that it kind of turns your whole build into a Shield Bash build if you want to play it that way, but that being said, it is still the best option, so we do pick it up here, though if you want to take Glory Shield or Invigorating Icon, you can definitely do that instead. Next perk here is Merciless Resolve. After a Shield Bash, Shield Rush, or Thunder Hammer Pommel Smash, melee damage increases by 15%, and you don't lose 12 heavy hits and cannot be knocked back for 10 seconds. This is like the only form of no knockback on our perk tree here, so we do take this on this build because we're not taking Armor Advance. And the next perk is of course Emergency Countermeasure for that extra Shock Nade effect to trigger our Shock and Awe effect, excuse me, on top of stuff like our Shock Grenades in the game. And that's pretty much all there is for the main perk tree. Now for our Prestige perk selection, we do take Resilience first for more Stim HP, though I will say you can take Auxiliary Reload if you want more ammo economy on your Plasma Pistol. That is up to you. The next perk I would take no matter what though, and that is Overcharge. Held and charge attack damage increases by 20%. This will buff up your power rake damage, which is huge on the power sword, so definitely grab this. And the final two are Powerful Shot for range damage increase of 20% and Masterful Defense for an ability charge restoration of 1% for every blocked range attack. This perk is incredible for CDR, one of the best perks in the entire game, so pretty much always pick this up. And if you really want to swap out like Powerful Shot for Standard Bearer or something like that, you could do that, but I think this one's overall better, especially on our Firepower Plasma Pistol. And that's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. The Power Sword feels way better this patch, and you know, I was already a pretty big fan of this weapon anyways, but hopefully this build guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And if you want to catch me live to ask me questions about the game or just come hang out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description. I'll also have a link to my community Discord. I also want to say a special thank you to my channel members. Your support has been incredible and helping make content like this. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye. Now we made our character look like the new model they had. The new Weta Workshop model.
We have nullified this corrupted field.
Ban this guy with tier 2 stuff for 3 months in advance. They probably start for 10 months. How's the day been treating you, guardsmen? Pretty well. I'm just waiting for patch 14 at this point. Not too much has changed in the game, and like pretty much all the good stuff in Space Marine 2 has been the same, so. Also, after streaming for like 400 hours this week, this past 3 days, I should say. It's a bit exhausting. Likewise, brother, yeah. Patch 14 is not going to be that big. Patch Patch 15, though. That's going to be a bigger one. Maybe not as big as patch 10, but pretty big, I imagine. Pretty big.
The world is seen of social consumed. Now
yeah, the initial fun of patch 13 started to wear. I'm excited for the new heroics. I feel like this was not a very big patch. It was just mega hyped by the Skulls event and no PTS. This was actually the biggest patch we've had all year in terms of like, actually I think it was a little bit bigger. In terms of retention, definitely it was bigger than Tech Marine. That's because we had no PTS. I think the Space Marine 2 will be a very popular game for a long time to come. The next class, though, there are a couple of thoughts I have on this, guys. You guys let me know what you think. Is patch 13 going to be... Is patch 15 going to be as big as patch 10? And will the new class be as big as Tech Marine? I kind of say no to both. Only because I think Space Marine 2... I think the most new players you're ever going to get in the game came in this year. And I'll say why, but outside like Nintendo Switch. And I'll say why, and the main reason being that as we get further and further into Space Marine 2's life cycle, the grind, like the insane grind in this game, is going to look absolutely daunting to new players. We'll see the progression rework. But unless they fix that, the grind's going to look absurd to new players. And also, it's going to be hard to beat launching a brand new class with the game on Xbox Game Pass and PSN Plus in the same month. Like, that's what they did for Tech Marine, and Tech Marine was by far the biggest patch overall this year, because even with the PTS, that patch still exploded. And it went actually like a bit bigger than patch 10. In the case of patch 10 had the heroics for the first time ever. 0 people could actually buy the heroics at that point in time.
Remote detonation. Right. The zone through skull.
I got some copings. I gotta say, patch 15 to be as big as patch 10. I mean, I would expect so. I mean, patch 12 was as big as patch 10. It was a new class. So, like, what's gonna be as big for a game as a brand new,
That pigeon Xenos.
what do you call it? I mean, the anniversary patch will probably be pretty big. I doubt we're gonna get a PTS for that either, because patch 15 is supposed to be... I mean, patch 14 is not supposed to be that big. Patch 14 is just like 6 new heroics in a Terminus, pretty much, and the War Gear update part 2, and that's the end of year 2. But I think patch 10 will be as big in terms of content. Will it be as hype? I don't think so. I think patch 10 was like the kind of thing where it's like, oh my god, this game's actually getting content. Oh my god, what the hell are... Like, nobody even knew what heroic weapons were at that point in time, you know? It was all brand new. We got 3 new weapons as well.
Sealed or otherwise. The traitors cannot recover even a fragment. Deny the Thousand Sons everything. By your will, Lord.
The Court's Emperor's loyal hounds arrive. Still chasing gunners in eternal conflict.
I'm pretty sure patch 14 is going to be the smallest patch this year. Probably smaller than Reclamation. I don't even know if they'll do a PTS for it. Maybe they will. Probably. They probably will.
We will deny their ambitions. Nothing escapes.
War gear requisition.
Wow, that cut the power source so clean.
Our eyes need no longer gaze at this atrocity. I scatter your foul silk to the wind. Not let that one conjure reinforcement. Gift.
The generator requires our attention.
I'll say, I think patch 10. Okay, so on the note I was saying there, patch 10 will probably, I would say patch 15 will probably be as big as patch 10 in terms of like content. I don't know if it'll be as big in terms of hype. That's all. Because I think like the idea of Space Marine 2 being a big game is already there. That makes sense. Like Space Marine 2 seemed pretty dead before.
No heretics of my peace. Profane sorcery.
The generator requires our attention.
Salivate no more, despicable.
I guess we'll awaken the generator.
And that one's physical life, which tries to reinforce itself.
The generator requires our attention.
Send Gilliman's regards to the traitor and engage in war.
It runs once more. The generator requires our attention.
The abomination is no more. The traitor tasted the Imperial justice. Let them die, dogs.
The generator requires our attention.
Power source aura is undeniable. That it is. I mean, it was the coolest weapon when the game came out. It's just unfortunate. It always kind of sucked. But that's no longer the case, guys. It's actually pretty good these days. They buffed up the speed of it this patch slightly. It's actually pretty good now. Not like unbelievable, but pretty good.
The generator requires our attention. It runs once more.
Is this the glory Magnus promised you?
Where the fuck are they? I hear the rumblings of Terminators. Where are they? Oh god. Oh god.
Allow their ritual to reach completion.
Perish.
By your order, Bulwark. We move to intercept brothers.
On Tech Wing, Argent or Omni Cyanax, which do you prefer? I mean, I think Omni Cyanax is way more fun than the Argent Edges. Argent Edge is better. And the Argent Edge is a super boring weapon in this game in Tech Marine. Alright guys, what's your favorite melee weapon in the game? What do you guys like the most?
Let us march unhindered.
Power Axe? Power Axe should be up there.
It's heavier in this place. We draw closer to the source.
God Squad, I think the Prime. The chainsword was also up there. You like the chainsword? I mean, I like the chainsword now with the White Scars option. I didn't like it that much before.
Path lies across the floating terrain, brothers. Tread with care.
Xenos hunger is insatiable, but the Imperium, the sorcery gnaws at my soul. Do not let that one conjure reinforcements. Shadow welts of madness. Show them the Emperor's might.
The island holds firm.
Oh shit. It's a bad time to alt tab. Maybe not during the floating. I guess it could have been worse. Could have been shot, but. Alright, here's aura farming me. No, my brain! Oh! Okay. There was no panic in this stream. If there was, it wasn't here. You can hear it.
Their mutations.
No! Okay. And down we go again. Let's just pretend this was the first write-up. FTG merch, where do I give you money? Oh, I want Space Marine nerd shit. So, I do have merch coming. That will be on the Orchid 8 store. Which you can find if you just type in Orchid 8. But it's not, it'll be like probably a couple months from now, I imagine. But there'll be desk mats there. Some other stuff. Also a bunch of other stuff for people, like you can find stuff for content creators like Pancreas No Work, Aurelia Temporis, that kind of stuff. And Bricky's podcast like Adeptus Ridiculous and Acceptable Losses. It is all there. Or we'll all be there soon.
The world this Xenos sought to consume now consumes. We have dispatched the mutant.
What's the best way to farm XP? Decapitation with the Gene Seed. It's the easiest mission, so pretty easy to farm it over and over on that. On the highest difficulty, complete, of course. I mean, the higher XP rates could come from Obelisk as well. It could be like unlethal, I think. If you're able to speedrun that with the team, that one's very fast. Alright, if we don't get a boss, I'll be very disappointed.
That pitiful Xenos was but no.
Dumb question, what's the skull in the middle of your screen sometimes? That's the lock-on. It's X default on PC, probably like pressing the controller stick on your controller. It is in the, alright, finally boss one. It's in the base game tutorial that we forgot about, but... Whatever. Or that's the end of spot to carry that anyways. These fuckers, dude, are the worst. If they catch you with their little spears while you're awkward. The Helverts are so easy on their own. Like, if they stack up a bunch of awkward melee attacks on you with range spam, that's when they get fucking annoying. There's a reason none of these bosses were ever designed around having any extremis around them initially. You can tell. The thing, remember back in the campaign at the beginning of the game, they never ever sent bosses simultaneously with extremis on you. And that's where 90% of like frame traps can happen now. We didn't get frame trap there, we just suck. But it is where they happen. And no builds in campaigns, true. Why are Vanguard Flyers the worst enemy? I mean, they're just fucking obnoxious. And they also stagger you with their little spears. So if they do like an unfortunate stagger on you, you're just cooked. You're just cooked.
Look upon this heresy, brothers, and let it fuel your righteous fury.
But it's very important to keep your merchants resolve up. But no knockback.
And release the Cadians. What are our oaths? The steel that binds our lives to the Emperor. What did we swear? Our lives shall serve to destroy all foes.
I scattered sins to
Guardsman freed.
It swallows me. Our foes called for aid. A sorcerer is nothing more than a deranged man. To slay this hellspawn. These are the forest spearmen for my sword. A survivor call for everyone. Us. Whittle down these heretics until they are 1,000 sons. We have nullified this corrupted field.
Another ward falls.
Oh god.
Cadians, you are liberated. Do your duty. The Emperor's soldiers
Riveting stuff, boys. Riveting. We love it.
Do not lose focus. The altar awaits. Cut your own flesh. Waste. Focus. The altar awaits.
There we go.
The corruption falters. We must not. The warp energy recedes. Stand firm. Let them come. We are the wall upon which they shall break. We are steadfast and immovable. We shall deny the archenemy. The moment is upon us, brothers. Eliminate the eye.
Hey, we did it.
Viridian, Auspex.
A little bit of an awkward boss fight. That is the most damaging power sword build in the game. And now we didn't really abuse our shield bash, but like, to be honest, that's preferable to me, because as fun as a shield bash is, if you just spam it, it's not very fun at all, in my opinion. Full OP. Like, blatantly OP.